What's up, ladies? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. And today we're going to be doing something different and unique. And we're going to be talking about the causes of insecurity and the trap that every woman, that's specifically in the American society and in most industrialized society, that every woman falls under, which is the superficial social standards that's placed upon them. That's the root cause of a lot of people's insecurity. And that doesn't just is limited to women, right? And this is very important because every single woman, almost every single girl falls in this trap. And this is very unfortunate because my heart goes out to them, because nothing sucks more than knowing that you will inevitably get older and you will inevitably lose your looks, the looks that you pride yourself into, the looks that you attach your self-esteem to. That's a trap because if you attach your self-esteem to your looks, depending on how you look, that's how your self-esteem is. In other words, your confidence and your self-esteem is not static. Your confidence and self-esteem is based on circumstance. And that means that you cannot control how you feel because you cannot control every single factor in your life. So let's begin with this scene. Notice how she takes so much pride in this, and notice how she loses her pride in being beautiful. Because the same highs that you guys have, and I'm not saying just women, but in people in general, the same high you get from the ego boost is the same low you get when you inevitably get older. But a quick overview on the scene. This is from the show NipTuck, and right now he's telling this model that she's not a perfect 10. All right, and just notice how she reacts. Mind you, like, she's a very beautiful woman, right? And most people correlate beauty with confidence. But unfortunately, the more beautiful you are, the higher the standard it is for you. All right, so let's notice how this works out for her.
Take me back to bed, Prince Charming.
Don't you have a boyfriend? You have to explain why this nice disappearing actor.
Oh, he's not a fiance or anything like that. It's just a bouncer at level.
Shame on her. Dirty girl.
You know, there are advantages to having a bouncer boyfriend. You never have to wait behind a velvet roll.
Please. You think a girl like me has to wait? Like last weekend, my girls and I, we went to that new club rendezvous. And the club owner says to me, "Right this way, 10. The perfect 10. That's what he calls me."
Can you notice how she takes pride on the superficial social standards that's placed upon her? Right? By simply playing that game, she's relegated to play the complete game, which is this. As soon as you get older, you're not the perfect 10 anymore. Which means that if you pride yourself in that, you're going to lose your sense of self. As a result, you're going to go outside yourself to find yourself and getting people's validations and getting people to like your photos, getting Botox, all in the attempt to lose what you know will inevitably leave you. That's because you're tying who you are with something impermanent. But you know that deep down there's something in you that doesn't change. But somehow you still correlate who you are with a never-changing factor, which is outside of yourself. And that's a fallacy. Because it looks easy. It's easy to find self-esteem in something that's palpable and tangible. But it's not easy to find true self-esteem with something that cannot be seen. But coincidentally, what cannot be seen cannot be changed. So to find real self-esteem, you have to find an immovable object, something that is grounded and that has never changed. And we're going to get to that later on. But let's keep watching.
Booked any covers yet?
I'm only 21. I got lots of time.
Absolutely. Of course, it takes a lot of discipline and work to get there, to be perfect. You fix the flaws, you could absolutely be a 10.
Well, what am I now?
You're an 8.
Can you see how her identity, which is to say, the sense of self that she has, how she sees herself, changes dynamically according to other people's standards? So if she meets a guy who she feels that doesn't view her as a 10, what she's going to do is she's going to try to impress him. What causes that is that what occurs from that is that suddenly, this is what happens all the time, is that women conform to a man's standards. So they'll try everything just to be with him, to gain his validation, to approve, to confirm who you are. So in reality, what's really going on here is that she's trying to find herself. But the world is ever changing. And so she's noticing that in one place she's a 10, and from another person's perspective, she's not a 10. So what's going on is that she's trying to live up, she's trying to impress, she's trying to be something she's not. She's not being herself. So she'll go throughout her whole life being something. And then suddenly when she loses it, she needs to find a new identity. And that's the issue. That's what you call when you don't know yourself. And from the outside, it looks like she knows herself because she's a perfect 10, but you got to realize those are conditions that are temporary. You see, I'm a decent looking person. And I know I'm going to age one day. But while I'm young, I'm trying and I'm realizing that in reality, that taking pride in how I look, taking pride in my youth when something that's going to age is a fallacy, because I will never age. So you got to think for the future. You know? And when you're so caught up in the momentary bliss of being a beautiful woman, you're going to find yourself in the ever-ending nightmare of aging. And that's going to be something that's going to be a surprise. Because when you're young, you don't realize that you're going to age one day until you look at yourself in the mirror.
Oh.
You're also 26. You should have worn sunscreen. But with a light peel under the eyes, you could look 20. Even so, you're a very pretty girl, Kimber.
You see, this is the issue, is that a woman will go and will try to live up to other men's standards. So if she's with and the only thing is the problem is that only attracts guys who lack confidence, guys who have low self-esteem, because they try to prove their identity, which is a man, through dominating, through controlling another woman. So they like that. But suddenly, from your perspective, you like the fact that you don't meet up to his standards. So trying to live up to his standards will give you a sense of self. Like, oh, he thought I was an 8, now he thinks I'm a 10. Oh, and you wanna keep impressing him, but you gotta put up with their shit. You see, and so that's that's the dynamic of a insecure relationship. Two insecure people. Doesn't matter how they look on the outside, but if you're the type of person that continually tries to live up to other people's standards, that continually tries to be like this or that in an attempt to try to feel better, you're gonna fall in this trap. I remember myself, like the other day, I was on Instagram, and I swear to God, I saw myself, man, I want a like. I said to myself, I want a like, so I threw a picture expecting a like so I could feel better. It's okay to have those thoughts. You just have to be aware of them. Because when you're not aware of those thoughts, you're going to react. You're going to be like, I need those like unconsciously. But if you're aware of those thoughts, now I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute, that's what I was doing. Let me not do that. And you're able to step back. In order to free yourself from that trance of unworthiness, you first have to become aware of the trance of unworthiness. That's the first thing. So let's keep watching.
I don't want to be pretty. I want to be better. I want to be perfect.
Oops, I should never hate my Cheerios. It's the desire for perfection that causes unhappiness. Happiness is a function of expectations. I didn't come up with that. Jalen Rose from Jalen and Jacoby show came up with that. And so the higher your standard for yourself, the higher your standard for trying to achieve perfection, the more you're going to strive for perfection, the more you're going to suffer at the end of the day. It's not that you don't try not to work on your looks, but you accept the fact that you're going to lose everything. So you are grateful for what you have, but you don't hold on to it. You see? You're grateful for what you have, but you don't hold on to it. And that's the thing, when people hold on to it. That's because you're attaching yourself to a current condition. But when you realize that this is one day going to end, that's when you're able to let go of it. And it's going to hurt realizing it, but pain usually brings life. That's how I came into this world. Trust me, I wasn't painless. I brought pain. I made sure I left my mark around here. I keep watching.
I haven't booked anything in 2 months. Tell me.
All right. You got a lipstick. Beauty symmetry. Your right eye is 0.5 millimeter higher.
You see, the solution for most people's problem is the same thing that causes the problem. Superficiality. Looking on the outside rather than looking for within. In order for you to escape that trance of unworthiness, you have to stop looking on the outside and look from within. That's the only way. And it's very difficult because when you look for within, you start seeing things that you don't want to find. Those same thoughts, emotions, and memories that you keep running away from. But the key is to confront them. Remember when I said, oh shit, I'm actually posting it just to get likes. Confronting what you are trying to run away from. You know what? Let me step back. Let me not even take action. Boom. Now suddenly you have the control. Suddenly now if you actually just post a picture, you're posting it consciously. You're not posting it to find validation because you saw those intentions. See what I'm saying? The key is just to become aware of them. Become aware of times when you're trying to look for validation. Become aware of times when you're trying to feel better. Become aware of times when you're trying to impress someone in order to feel better about yourself. It's not the fact that you don't try to impress people, but not trying to impress them in order to find yourself, in order to enhance your sense of self, which is to say, I'm a model. And you're saying to yourself, please be impressed, please be impressed, please be impressed. I'm a model for Victoria's Secret. And you're saying to yourself, please be impressed, please be impressed. Rather, you could just say, I'm a model. And you don't even care if it's impressed. It's just saying, I'm a model. That's cool. See, those are two completely different things. One, you're putting it out there, I'm a model. And the other one is, you put it out there, but you're holding on to, I'm a model. Give me the validation. Give me the validation. All you have to do is just become aware of the desire for the validation. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Just become aware of it. But let's keep watching.
Higher than your left. We could properly fix that with the malar augmentation. It's a cheekbone enhancement. I'll give you Botox here and here, which will provide a good lift. You Irish?
Hard.
Explains the slightly flat boxer nose. We could shave the cartilage, give you that Chrissy Turlington thing. And the breast could go one size bigger, low C. And you could finish off with some abdominal. Lipo. Pretty much. These vibral areas.
Am I really this ugly?
This is what happens when you place your sense of self on things that are ever changing. That could be changed by simply changing your perception. A cameraman could be at a club and by simply focusing on certain aspects can make a party look like the best party in the world or make it look like the most boring party in the world. All you got to do is change your focus. This is why you have to hang out with people who have high self-esteem. We're not talking about the manifestations of self-esteem showing off. No, the less they say, the more they are. You see, and so through his eyes, she's looking at the world through his eyes, through the eyes of insecurity, and she's seeing the flaws in her. And so since she bases her sense of self on her looks and on the feedback that she gets from other people, it's no wonder that she feels this way. Even though she hasn't changed, but her perception has changed. That only happens when you base it on your looks. You see, there's not a lot of substance to her. And it's sad because once she loses her looks, she's going to be a corpse of insecurity. A frail figure of someone who used to be good looking and now is going throughout her life wishing and living in the past. You have to be able to accept how you are right now and be able to let go of it. Because when you die, that body's going to leave. You're not your body. You are deeper than that. Who's aware of being aware? Who's aware of having a body? Who's the one who's inside noticing all of these things? is your consciousness, awareness. Base yourself on the thing that cannot be seen or described, and nobody can take it away from you. See, I'm a decent looking guy. I am a decent, I'm not the best, but I'm a decent looking guy. And I know I'm going to get old one day. You know, and a part of my confidence is in my understanding that at any point in time I could just go out and meet someone, because that's what I do. I'm a dating coach for men. I'm just doing this because I had a lot of demand from women wanting me to do these kind of videos. But I admit that I'm confident because I have a certain skill set that enables me to be confident. But deep down, if I lose that skill set, I'm going to have to go deeper into myself. Or I'm going to have to find myself in other things like getting bigger, getting stronger, becoming a celebrity. You see, you can have two options. Go within yourself. Find yourself. Notice who you're not and notice what you are. And you're going to notice that whatever changes is not you. But somehow there's something in you that hasn't changed, right? I mean, think about that. You've been inside there the whole life. What hasn't changed is just your awareness. You could be drunk, but you're still aware. You could be going to sleep, but you're aware because you know you're sleeping. You see? So your awareness is who you are. So focus your attention on awareness. Notice what's going on inside of you. Just try it right now. Notice the colors. Notice the space around you. Notice how your body feels. Notice the environment. Notice different objects. Be here now. What sounds do you hear? Notice the sounds. Notice the silence underneath the sounds. You see, when you hear me, just hear my voice. Feel my voice as it goes into your ear. And suddenly you're focusing on presence rather than on objects. Which is to say, when we talk about objects, I'm talking about in your mind. You're not focusing on the little chatters in your mind. Am I good looking or not? No, you're focusing on what doesn't change, you know? That's pretty much it. And that's how you do it. It's pretty simple because the technique is simple, but it takes application and dedication to make this happen. And to be honest with you, if you dedicate 1 hour of your day for makeup and all that sort of stuff, I think you could dedicate a few minutes of your day to becoming present through meditating and reading books on meditation. You know. Anyways, this is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. Take care. Yo, subscribe. And thank you to all you guys who have been subscribing. I'm really shocked by how fast this channel is growing. I've only had it for like 2 weeks and it's at 150. So thank you so much. Take care.
Striving for perfection, you might as well be dead.